Hello, welcome back to Business Communication. So, in last sessions, we talk about one aspects how we can make our business communication effective. That was by using the communication process, by understanding it, by implementing it properly. So, taking care about the process, the whole process and the aspects. For example, sender, message, encode, channel, then receiver, decode, and feedback and brand drain. Those were the very important aspects that we need to understand to make our communication more effective. So today we are going to talk about principle of communications. So there are some rules, some theories that helps us to make our communication effective. So if communication are to be effective, certain principles should be followed. These principles of effective communication are, today we are going to discuss them. For example, principle of simplicity. If you want to make your communication effective, your message should be simple and you should present it in a very simple way. So simplicity is the demand of the present day world. You cannot make your message very complex and you cannot deliver your message in a very complex manner. In the past, people used to think that complexity would make the sense of advanced professional, but now message should be very simple. And do not forget the principle of simplicity. Use the very simple common words, very simple structures, and express in a very simple way. That is very important things for effective business communication. Mainly think about easy and common words which are understandable for everybody, people from every aspect and every peoples. This principle is principle of clarity. Message should be very clear. You should not have double meaning, and you cannot put the ambiguity in the message. So ambiguous message will not be able to make effective communication. So clear message should be sent. For example, the fish is ready to eat. What does it mean? Whether the fish is already cooked in the kitchen and the person is calling, inviting his relatives or friends to eat the food, fish, or the fish in the river is going to eat something to survive. So it is ambiguous sentence. So there are various types of ambiguity. This is only one example. Okay, this is the only one example that is very common and we have been practicing from the school life. But in business communication, we should not use ambiguous and unclear sentence. So make your message as much as clear. So principle of simplicity and principle of clarity, they are interrelated. If you use common words and simple words, then your message may become clear also. So clear in meaning, clear in structure, clear in words wise, it is the demands of effective communication. So principle of brevity, people do not have a lot of time nowadays, and we should finish the things within a very small span of time, because everywhere the principle of economy applies. If we use many words and many sentences to say a very small thing, it's not good. So if you really want to make your communication effective, you have to make it brief, clear. It doesn't mean that you should send the message incomplete. Brief means message should be complete, but unnecessary words and sentences should be removed from your message. And extra unnecessary explanation is discouraged. For example, the reader may feel disturbed in receiving a long message, so only necessary information should be given in the message. So it should be brief also. So let me summarize. First one, message should be simple, principle of simplicity. Message should be clear, principle of clarity. Message should be brief and short, principle of brevity. And the fourth one is principle of planning. It's not, business communication is not like personal communication. Whatever we want, we can communicate without any plannings. So business communication really requires the plannings. If you want to communicate with your seniors, with your service provider, with your clients, with your office workers, colleagues, you have to make plan. First you should make plan, and then you communicate. So principle of planning requires, for effective communication, you should make plan and preparation and do some sort of research before you communicate. So it is not only, many people believe that planning is important for a speaker. We are listener, we just can sit and listen. No, it is not the things. Listener also make up their mind. They also should make some sort of planning before they are going to receive the message, either they are going to read or listen. So they should have some sort of planning about what the sender is going to say and what may be the message. So it should, it's a kind of traditional, it's a kind of concentration, focus, and you should prepare your mind before you receive the message. And in the side of sender, it is obligatory and compulsory. So principle of planning is summarized. So principle of simplicity, principle of clarity, principle of brevity, and principle of planning. Next one is principle of accuracy. If you want to make your business communication effective and professional, please apply the principle of accuracy. It means your message should be accurate. Do not say come soon. What you can say? Come by the Friday evening. It says. Okay, so do not say within a month. Give the deadlines. And do not say early as soon as possible. Give the time. So accuracy should be there. Accuracy refers to the location, amount, quantity, and quality. These are the very important things. And the next one is principle of attentiveness. So it is mainly applicable to the listeners, but it is not only applicable to the principle of applications. So these principles mainly highlights the value of the listener or the audience. Audience should be attentive. Otherwise, whatever the message is or how the speaker or sender is delivering the message, it may not work properly. Effective listening is important in effective communication. So the receiver should be attentive while receiving the message. So in the same way, reader should be very attentive while reading the text. Otherwise, he's not going to understand what the writer while reading the text. Otherwise, he's not going to understand what the writer, what the speaker really tries to say. That's very important. So attention is required while receiving the message. And the next one is principle of relevancy. Only relevant information, data, and messages should be communicated, should be shared. Sometimes, we talk about the Bollywood, but people are giving the examples and talking a lot about Amitabh Bachchan, which is not appropriate because Bollywood is not Amitabh Bachchan. We can take some examples that Amitabh Bachchan is one of the superstar of Bollywood, but relevancy means only the relevant information should be related, should be included, should be expressed through business communication. Irrelevant and unnecessary information should be reduced. Or redundancy should not be in our message. For example, what is the value of rain in the sea or ocean? Because it is already water there. So, repetition should not be there and redundancy should not be there. Only relevant information should be used over there. Principle of feedback. Feedback is very important when we communicate because without feedback, the sender does not know how his message been working in the life of the audience, how the audience or receiver are taking his message, whether they are taking it accurately or not. This is very important things the sender has to understand. So next one is principle of time consideration. So here time consideration means it is more appropriate and more applicable to the sender. Sender should consider the time factor of the audience. Because nowadays people do not have a lot of time to listen to your message. The small message which use so many words and takes a lot of time. Rather than that, what you can do is make your message short so that you can be relevant to your audience time. So consider about the time while describing the points, facts, whether to include a particular information or not. Time factor will give you the clue so that you can use that one. So the last one, number 10, is principle of language control. If you want to make your communication effective, if you want to improve your business communication, why don't you check the language aspects? What sort of words are appropriate to that particular subject area, to that discipline, to that field? So word choice is more important, and you should use grammatically correct sentences and structures. And why don't you check the everyday language structures of that language in which you are going to make your communication. So these are the 10 principles which are not sufficient, but they are very useful if you really want to make your communication effective. Number one is simplicity. Number two is clarity. Number three is brevity. Number four is accuracy. Number five is what was in number five is principle of accuracy. Number six is attentiveness. Seven is relevancy. Eight is feedback. Nine is time consideration. And 10 is language control. These are very important principles that you need to follow. These are the rules that helps you to make your communication effective and improve your business communication. It is not overnight job. It is very important to make your communication effective. Thank you. Thank you.